Zoro from One Piece. He dreams of being the world's strongest swordsman, a dream that he inherited from Kurina, his childhood friend and rival, who strangely died from falling down some stairs. There's a theory about that. To be the strongest, you have to beat the strongest, and in this series, it's a man known as Draco Mihawk, the owner of the Black Blade Yoru, a swordsman who has crossed blades with the strongest pirates in the sea. He is someone that the government fears. We know that Zoro's first fight with Mihawk didn't go as planned. Zoro's strength that he acquired up to that point amounted to just a kitchen knife. His most important duel ended in a flash, and at that moment, Zoro learned that he was missing something crucial. And from that point on, he vowed never to lose again, growing in strength, skill, and resolve, cutting down every warrior that dared to stand in his way, from Mr. One all the way to King. Why do they all seem to be black? Zoro is every bit of the samurai we hope he would become. So as the story is nearing its final chapter, as his captain has reached Yonko status, shouldn't it be time for that most anticipated rematch in One Piece? At this point in the story, what is Zoro missing to close the gap? Is it Haki? Is it his demeanor? Is it the swords he carried? Or is it something far deeper than strength alone? We know to be a top-tier character in the One Piece world, you need Haki. Observation, the ability to sense other present, intent, and even glimpse into the future. Armament, the ability to armor yourself with your own aura. And lastly, Conquerors, the rarest of forms, the ability to express your own willpower to dominate others. And Zoro doesn't lack in any of these three areas. In observation, awakening it during his grueling battle with Mr. One, Zoro learned how to listen to the world, sensing the breath of the stone, the steel, and even life itself. And since then, he has sharpened his skills in sensing the presence of others as well as their intent. Moving on to armament, Zoro has shown a certain affinity to this type of Haki, coding his attacks to sharpen and boost his overall power and output, delivering devastating attacks to his opponents, most notably to King and Pika. And lastly, Conquerors. And until recently, Zoro had been using Conquerors coding to be exact, without his knowledge. Also, this demonic form that Zoro expresses is something that only a few people in the series can contend with. A demonic projection of his will that even Kaido, the king of beasts, praised Zoro for. So Zoro has all the foundation of Haki down. He has observation, he has armament, he now has Conquerors. And as he continues to travel or change, they will only get stronger. So the question still remains, if it's not Haki that Zoro is lacking, what is he still missing? Could it be his demeanor? Zoro's mindset is one of intense discipline, determination, loyalty, and strength. Taking a page from Jujutsu Kaisen and Blue Lock, the strongest are compared to calamities. They are people who stand above all, wielding overwhelming power. Like forces of nature, they don't discriminate, they simply wreak havoc. With that in mind, the person in One Piece that exhibits this the most is Zoro. It doesn't matter who his opponent is. It doesn't matter if they even have the advantage. Zoro simply strikes, and when he does so with a level of aggression that overwhelms his targets. Every time he draws his sword, it's like a beast ready to attack. Look what he did to Mornay. Without even killing her, he shattered her whole psyche. Through sheer presence and intent alone, he reduced her to her own fears. His aura, will, asha, whatever you call it, is his manifestation of a calamity. And in regards to Blue Lock, it speaks to the power of ego. To be the strongest, one must possess an ego so vast that it devours others. And every person Zoro fights is another person fed to his ambition. Mihawk wouldn't have spared Zoro that day if it wasn't for his ambitious nature. Zoro's demeanor lines up with some of the strongest archetypes in shonen. So if it's not his Haki, if it's not his mindset, then what is Zoro still missing? Maybe it's the swords. Maybe the swords make the swordsman. But then again, Zoro isn't lacking in that department either. He has three greatest swords: the Wado Ichimoni, the one he received from Kuina. Sundai Katetsu, one of the 3 cursed blades in the Katetsu line. And Emma, a sword from the renowned Wano country. So not only does Zoro possess amazing swordsmanship with his 3 sword styles, but he also has some of the best blades that the series can offer. So Zoro has all 3 stages of Haki. He has that killer mentality, and he has the swords and the skills to use them. And he's still missing something? What Zoro is missing is the ability to communicate with his blades. And stay with me. In many stories, Bleach, Vagabond, etc., we're shown the concept of I am the blade and the blade in me. And once a swordsman reach that realization, their journey changes. The sword and the swordsman become one, both souls tied together. And souls are the important detail to this. In One Piece, we know that inanimate objects have souls, like the Kalbaltraman, who are essentially the incarnation of a ship's will. If that can apply to ships, then it should also be able to apply to swords. And in this story, it's clear that it does. Swords carry their own will. 2 of Zoro's swords have expressed a will of their own, Sundai and Emma. Emma craves battle, and in order to wield it, the swordsman needs strong Haki. Sundai craves the same, but in a more mischievous manner. It seems like it craves the blood. So to bring this back to the beginning, I'm accusing Zoro of not having a connection with a blade, which may sound odd because throughout the story, we see him talk to his swords. We see how he receives Sundai, how he mourns for Yubichiri, and how he wrestles with Emma. But here's the thing, we are never shown that Zoro fully understands his blades. And that might be the difference. It seems as if Zoro's will overpowers his swords instead of letting it harmonize with it. Sundai is bloodthirsty, so Zoro often uses it for his most gruesome attacks, feeding it but keeping it in check. Emma wants power, so Zoro gives it more Haki, feeding it but keeping it in check. He displaying great control but never allowed that to flow. Finding that harmony might be the line between a great swordsman and the world's strongest. In the rematch with Mihawk, the reason Zoro will win isn't because of the aspect we mentioned before. Yes, his Haki, his mindset, his swords will get him to the finish line. But what will allow him to cross that line is the moment him and his swords become one.